index dropped by 5.55% to close at 38,197.73, while market capitalization closed lower at 12.61 trillion naira. In all, investors exchanged a total of 1.88 billion shares worth 23.73 billion naira in 24,705 deals. Well, next on the news at 10, Team NSCDC emerges overall winner of the National Table Tennis League. That's on Sports News. Please stay with us.
What's going on?
Bros, you don't know. It takes 1 minute. So I just introduced one sharp free data and smartphone offer.
Hello? Oh boy, they will knock you up to 1.5 gigabyte data when you buy the smartphone. Plus double any data when you load way past 200 MB for the next 12 months.
No waste time, oh. With Chickly Money, you save it and enjoy sharp browsing with Techno Phantom Z, R7, and other special techno phones them.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
It's not a question of place.
It's not a question of temperature.
It's not a question of dedication. In fact, it's not a question at all.
Energy has to be better. It's our responsibility.
And our commitment
To make it better.
For all of us.
Total, committed to better energy.
Transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Joni S5.5, the slimmest in the world. Joni, to be needed, to be loved.
Together with nature, we're making great juice. 5 Alive, made with nature.
Airtel, always on with destination news. Airtel Internet, the smartest network for your smartphone. Dial *401# to activate.
Welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps, the NSCDC, showed good skills to emerge winners in the men and women event of the National Table Tennis League. The men's team defeated Union Maritime 3-0, while the ladies came from behind to beat Union Bank Sports Club 3-2. NSCDC's duo of Kazim Makonjola and Rashidat Ogundele were named the most valuable players of the one-week team league competition. Talented teenage stars Abayami Animashan and Michael Obayomi received full sponsorship to feature at next year's Cadet and Junior Open in Egypt. Namibia coach Jacqueline Shibanga has tipped the Super Falcons of Nigeria to win this year's African Women Championship. The Falcons broke the hearts of thousands of local fans at the Sam Nujoma Stadium in Windhoek with a 2-0 defeat, which denied the host a place in the semi-finals of the tournament. So far, the 6-time African champions have scored 12 goals and have conceded only 2. The top 3 teams will represent Africa at the FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada next year. In England, the Sergio Aguero scored 4 goals in a game of 4 penalties as Manchester City recorded a memorable 4-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur. Aguero is now City's top scorer in the Premier League era with 61 goals in 95 appearances. The Argentine struck first for City in the 13th minute after finishing a Frank Lampard pass. Christian Eriksen scored Spurs' only goal of the game. Well, in other results in the English Premier League, Cesc Fabregas scored his first goal as leaders. Chelsea survived a late Crystal Palace scare to maintain a 5-point advantage over Manchester City. Arsenal had to battle hard to earn a 2-2 draw with Hull City at the Emirates. Everton beat Aston Villa 3-0. Southampton whitewashed Sunderland by 8 goals to 0. Gianfranco Sarko scored the 6th goal as West Ham beat Burnley 3-1, while at St James's Park, Newcastle recorded a 1-0 victory over Leicester City. That's all the sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
On the foreign scene, South Africa's President Jacob Zuma has commended African First Ladies for what he calls their immense efforts to promote peace and development on the continent. President Zuma was speaking at a dinner on Friday night where he hosted the wife of Nigeria's president, Dame Patience Jonathan, and other First Ladies ahead of their meeting today in Pretoria, the South African capital. Dame Patience is the current president of the African First Ladies Peace Mission and is in South Africa this weekend for the Executive Bureau meeting of the group. Our correspondent, Betty Dibia, reports.
Jehovah, moya wami, yeta, wetalizulo, moya wami, toba, otobelu.
The guests were treated to the best of South African music, but at the heart of the gathering was the quest for lasting peace in Africa.
Africa needs peace and development. As the African First Ladies for Peace, we want to contribute in our own small way to supporting the work of head of states and government in the continent to promote peace.
Nigeria's First Lady and the President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission, Dame Patience Jonathan, called for deeper engagement by and of everyone for the peace and development of Africa and its member states.
It is important to know that the activities of the African First Ladies Peace Mission are central to peace building, restoration of peace, and elimination of human suffering, and ultimately promoting development of our societies. We should therefore engage ourselves as well as encourage other women to be potential tools for peace in our continent.
South Africa's President Jacob Zuma praised the African First Ladies for all their efforts and achievements in the promotion of peace, provision of relief material, and developmental advocacy across Africa.
All these central pillars to lasting peace in the continent, and indeed an advancement of the African agenda that we are seized with as leaders in this continent. It is recognition that states cannot be the sole actors in improving the human condition in the continent.
The African First Ladies Peace Mission was founded almost 2 decades ago after the 1995 Conference on Women in Beijing, China, when some First Ladies from the continent decided to come together to support the works of heads of government on the continent to promote peace. Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
Hurricane Gonzalo has cut in power supply to many residents. The Category 2 hurricane caused flooding, felled trees, knocked down power lines and damaged buildings, including the island's main hospital. Wind speeds of up to 175 kilometers per hour were reported, making it the strongest storm to hit the British Overseas Territory in a decade. However, there were no reports of deaths or serious injuries, but emergency services is set to be clearing the wreckage. The UK Ministry of Defence says the Royal Navy has deployed a frigate, HMS Argyll, along with trained medical personnel to help with the provision of humanitarian assistance. And the main news again. The Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria today held its final rally in Abuja amidst more calls for President Jonathan to recontest the presidency. Leaders of the All Progressive Congress met today in Kaduna to strategize ahead of the 2015 elections and called on INEC to ensure transparent polls in 2015. The campaigners for the rescue of the Chibok girls have blasted former PDP national chairman Mr. Audu Ogbe over his statement alleging that the leadership of the group belongs to the APC. And parts of Bermuda have been thrown into total darkness as Hurricane Gonzalo today hit the Atlantic island, felling trees and causing floods. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Harriet Agbini. Have a good night.